This video shows how I apply sleeving to new lines. To sleeve your lines, you will need some bulk kite line, often sold in either of these types of spools, some sleeving line, and a wire loop for threading the sleeving. Each of these can be purchased from major kite stores, online or in person. You will also need scissors, a lighter, and a marker. First, you need to carefully measure and lay out your lines. This process is not shown in the video. After you've cut your lines, use the lighter to melt the ends so they do not fray. When your lines are ready, cut some lengths of sleeving to about 30 centimeters or 12 inches. You'll need 4 of them for dual line, 8 of them for quad line sets. Just like the kite line, use your lighter to melt the ends of the sleeving so they don't fray. The sleeving line is a tube. Be careful you don't seal the end closed. If you do, you can cut off the burnt tip and try again. Carefully thread the sleeving line into the threader. The material is a tube and may bundle up. You can slide it further down if that happens. If your threader pierces the tube, pull it back out slightly and resume threading till the full length is on the threader. Take the end of your kite line and place it through the loop on the threader. Pull the sleeving line off the threader and over your kite line. There may be some resistance of sliding over the burnt end of the kite line while through sleeving. Slide the sleeving back toward the end of the line, but don't let it retract fully into the sleeve. Pinch the end of the line and pull the sleeving material tight back onto the line. I leave about 2 centimeters or a half inch hanging out the end to allow for adjustment. Next, tie a knot in the loop. I prefer to use a figure 8 knot instead of an overhand knot. A figure 8 knot is stronger, less prone for the line to break at the knot location, and is easier to untie after the line has been under heavy load. Tying a figure 8 knot is similar to tying an overhand knot. With an overhand knot, you form a loop, wrap halfway around the loop from the back, and pass through from back to front. For a figure 8 knot, you form a loop, wrap fully around, and pass through from front to back. Repeat this process for the next line. Pass the threader into the sleeving line. Pull the line into the loop. Slide the sleeving material over the line. Remove the line from the threader. Leave a short tail on the line, and tie a figure 8 knot. Again, this knot is similar to an overhand knot, but instead of wrapping halfway around then pulling through, wrap a full turn around and then pull through. Repeat the sleeving process, making sure to match the colors on opposite ends. This video does not show equalizing the lines. You'll need to do that out in the field or in a long hallway to ensure the lines are the same length. This will require untying and retying the knots several times, so don't make these too tight. Kite lines stretch over time, with most stretch in the first few flights as the fibers bind together. I recommend equalizing the lines before your first flight and again after an hour of flight. Then equalize them again after a few more hours and again at about 10 hours of flight. After that, equalize your lines regularly. If this is for a quad line set and you are using two colors of sleeving, mark two lines so you can pair up the right hand and left hand line sets. Repeat the sleeving process, making sure to match colors on opposite ends. You don't want to end up with a line that has one color sleeving on one end and a different color on the opposite end. This would be confusing when setting up to fly. After completing all 4 or 8 sleeves on your line, carefully wind it up and prepare it to go to the field for balancing and equalizing. That concludes this tutorial.